What is going on, Pixelinks? This is Bradley here. We are now at the 5th entry in the Professor Layton series with the latest installment of Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask. So we've had 4 Professor Layton titles on the Nintendo DS. Now this is the first one on the 3DS. And now Miracle Mask is actually a sequel to Professor Layton and the Last Spectre. So it's actually second game in the prequel trilogy. Now Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask is developed by Level 5. It was published by Nintendo. Out now in Japan, North America, Europe, Australia. So without further ado, let's get in the review. That rhymes. Professor Layton receives a mysterious letter from an old friend detailing how a person who goes by the name of the Masked Gentleman is causing havoc in the bustling entertainment city of Monte d'Or by creating terrifying spectacles. Now the letter details that this masked gentleman wears a legendary mask of chaos that is believed to give power to any who wears it. Now, who is this masked gentleman? Why is he terrorizing the town? And what is this mask of chaos? And onward goes the story of Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask. And as any true gentleman would, Layton takes it upon himself to solve this confounded mystery. Now, one of the things about the Professor Layton titles that always drew me to them is their stories. Now, the plot of Miracle Mask is pretty well done, but it wasn't totally engrossing until the end of the game when you reach the climax. Because until then, you're trying to make heads or tails about these miracles that the masked gentleman is performing. Now it gets emotional towards the end of the story, which is great, and then you get the cliffhanger at the end of the credits that sets up for the eventual 6th entry in the Professor Layton series. Plus you get the character development going on in Miracle Mask because it takes you back to Layton's school days, so you get to figure out how Layton got into archaeology, all the while checking out his sweet locks of unkempt hair. If you have played any of the other 4 Professor Layton games on the Nintendo DS, then you should know how this one will play as well. Not much has changed in terms of gameplay, but Level 5 did add in some new gameplay mechanics. Like past Layton titles, you will be wandering around towns trying to solve whatever mystery is at hand, while also solving puzzles that are everywhere. Now what's new in this entry is that now when wandering around the city of Monte d'Or, you can actually move the camera around and check out the city from different angles and even zoom in at certain points instead of just having a stagnant screen like in past games, which is pretty awesome. Now there are also some new types of puzzles for you to play through alongside recycled puzzles that will feel familiar if you have played past games. Now if you have a knack for puzzles and riddles, then you'll be right at home in Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask. Now there's also a part in the game where you take control of Professor Layton from a top-down perspective and guide him through a cave that was interesting at first, but then it just got repetitive as he began doing the same thing over and over. Now the 2D hand-drawn backgrounds of the city are fantastic, coupled with the ever-awesome addition of the stereoscopic 3D effect that adds tons of depth to the game world that makes the game really pop. Now Level 5 decided to add in 3D models of characters this time around. Now, the 3D models are not bad, and they fit in with the 2D backgrounds fairly well for the most part. Now there were a couple parts during some of the more cinematic scenes where the 3D models and background didn't look too well. Now, there are 2D cinematic sequences that are just phenomenal, and it makes me want to have a ton more of them in the game. Now you won't be disappointed musically in Miracle Mask. It has a more orchestral type of music than anything, and it stands well with the atmosphere of the game with a whole sense of mystery. Now, I was actually fond of the title screen and end credits music, but on the other hand, there's the same old puzzle solving music that fits well. It is nice and soothing, so you're able to concentrate on the puzzle at hand. So, if you enjoyed the music in past Layton titles, surely you will like the music in this one as well. Wow, there is a ton of stuff to do in Miracle Mask in terms of replay value. While the story of the game will take hours to complete, there's still a plethora of puzzles to solve and goodies to find. There are these minigame type puzzles that you can complete that involve a rabbit, robot, or organizing groceries. There is even a bonus section on the main menu where you can unlock things by earning enough pick-a-rats from solving puzzles. Plus, you're able to download 365 extra puzzles, one for each day of the year, so you'll be able to sink in a ton of extra hours once you conquer the story of the game. So overall, with Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask, you really have to enjoy puzzles, because this game is filled with puzzles. Now, to move along the story, you have to solve puzzles, otherwise it's going to feel like a chore. Now, it would feel like a chore to me sometimes because I would just want to move along in the story, see what happens, and get to the end of the game and not want to solve the puzzles. Now, if you happen to enjoy puzzle games, well, you should go ahead and pick this game up. The artwork is fine, the music is fine, also there is a ton of replay value in this game. So thegamingpixelshow.com is awarding Professor Layton the Miracle Mask an 8 out of 10. That will bring us to the end of this video, guys. If you want to subscribe and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and go to thegamingpixelshow.com to get news and rumors for the 3DS and the Wii in the future. But I'll talk to you later in the next video, guys. Bye!